Hey, come over here. I've got some Disney World secrets to spill that are going to completely change your Disney World trip in the best way possible. Are you ready? Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Vlog. A little behind the scenes action for you. Originally, this video was going to be pretty short and sweet, but then Bria and I started brainstorming and realized that, hold up, there are so many secrets out there that could potentially completely change your trip. So why are we limiting ourselves to like 15 when we could feed you a whole bunch at once and really make an impact on your upcoming trip? So without further ado, here are not just a few Disney secrets, but a ton of Disney secrets to help you fix your current itinerary or just to help you pass the time today, even if you're not planning a Disney World trip anytime soon. We're so glad you're here to join us in the parks virtually. Numero uno awesome Disney secret is how to meet guaranteed Disney characters for free. You don't need a park ticket or a character dining reservation to meet two of the most popular Disney characters of all time. You don't even need a hotel room booked. All you need is a passion for the great outdoors and a warmed up voice that's ready to belt out some sing-alongs. If you find yourself with a free night during your trip, Chip and Dale host a campfire sing-along every single night starting at 7:30 p.m. over at the campsites in Disney's Fort Wilderness. Weather permitting, of course. While the event is free, and free is cool, you'll have to purchase s'mores supplies from the Chuck Wagon snack bar nearby if you want the whole bonfire s'mores experience. Though you're more than welcome to bring your own ingredients too, and then it's free. By the way, if you just want some toasty marshmallows, those are free as well. And once the sun sets, cuddle up under a blanket and enjoy a movie under the stars. There are plenty of benches for you to use, or you can bring your own chairs. First free character meet and greets, now free Disney fireworks. I am spoiling y'all over here, but you already knew that. While the places where you can watch Disney's fireworks shows without having to spend an extra dime might not give you the whole projection performance, they'll still give you a picture-perfect display of the pyrotechnics from a distance. So let's start by finding some viewing spots for Magic Kingdom's Happily Ever After. Disney's Polynesian Village Resort has a beach side with lots of sand and hammocks and a straight-on view of Cinderella Castle from afar, complete with all the surrounding fireworks. And because Polynesian Village knows this is a popular free fireworks viewing location, they pipe in the Happily Ever After soundtrack to play throughout the beach. Oh, and just steps away from the beach is Pineapple Lanai, where you can grab a little Dole Whip treat right before the show starts. But that part isn't free. It's just something that always makes me cave and drop a few bucks. Disney's Grand Floridian Resort offers a slightly offset view of the fireworks, but the best viewing spot over here is going to be along the marina area, stretching from Gasparilla Island Grill to the boat launch dock. And then at Disney's Contemporary Resort, you're more than welcome to access the 4th floor observation area that's open to the public and offers great up-close views of the booms and the pops and the fizzles in the sky. Now, how about we get a good angle of those luminous fireworks in Epcot next? Our recommended place for catching the view of the luminous fireworks is the walkway bridge that connects the boardwalk and beach club resort, since it's about as close as you can get without entering the park. This is also not too far away from the Beaches and Cream walk-up window, just saying. And if you time your ride through just right, you might be able to watch the Epcot fireworks during your ride aboard the Skyliner, too. Now, Disney's restaurants with fireworks views aren't going to provide you with a free way to watch the fireworks, but they still are an awesome way to see them from a whole new vantage point, and will make for a great date night or family celebration to remember. Now, best of all, the ones that I'm about to list for you still don't require a theme park ticket purchase. Ohana, a family-style restaurant located at Disney's Polynesian Village Resort, is a very popular choice for fireworks, though it's not always the best choice, since not every seat is going to put you close to the windows that look out across Seven Seas Lagoon. You can always try to improve your chances of getting a seat next to the window by requesting one when you're checking in at the host stand. And when you do that, by the way, ask for a fireworks view table, not a window table, because there are plenty of window tables that still don't have the best view. But it's still not going to be 100% guarantee even if you request a fireworks view table. They're doing their best, and there's probably a lot of people asking for one. You want to time out your meal so that you're arriving about an hour before fireworks time. Then you got a little wiggle room if you need to wait for a table with that view. You should plan to book that dining reservation ASAP 60 days out from your arrival date, because reservations at fireworks time go fast. Now, if you're not hungry enough for a full meal, then you may want to go to Trader Sam's Tiki Terrace instead, which is also located at Polynesian Village Resort. Out on the terrace, you can enjoy a wide selection of fun themed cocktails and apps with a potentially better chance of getting to see the fireworks that night than what even Ohana can promise you, for a much lower price point too. Located just a monorail ride away, California Grill, located on the 15th floor of the Contemporary Resort, not only has huge windows overlooking the Magic Kingdom, but also its own fireworks observation deck with sweeping landscape views of those glittering fireworks. California Grill does have some bar seating that is first come, first served. Just ask at the check-in podium if there are any spots available. Even if you dine here earlier in the evening, this is important, pay attention. You can return with your receipt and head back to watch the fireworks from their outdoor rooftop deck. So even if you don't get a fireworks time to eat, you can go back later and see them just like you would if you were eating there. It's great. Now, the price point here is high, and this gets booked up really fast. So if you want to do California Grill, maybe it's a really special date night, maybe there's a proposal involved, then you're going to want to make those reservations for that fireworks time frame early on in that 60-day window where you can book reservations. If sky-high dining isn't your cup of tea, then Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa has some waterfront dining options for you, like Narcoossee's, which is laid out like a wraparound porch with tables surrounded by huge windows. Or if you're looking for a more casual vibe with fewer dollar signs, Gasparilla Island Grill also has outdoor seating that features those fireworks views. That's the same marina space that we talked about in the earlier point. And they pipe in the music for the show here as well. Now, Narcoossee's isn't going to be the best view of the fireworks. You're going to see a few fireworks from like a side angle. So don't think you're going to see the whole show and really be able to, consume it that way. Now, what about Epcot's fireworks? Just take an elevator up to the 16th floor of Grand Destino Tower at Coronado Springs Resort for an evening at Toledo, tapas, steaks, and seafood, which features not just one, but two epic views of Disney fireworks. Yep, you can see some of the pyrotechnic work from Hollywood Studios' Fantasmic show from this vantage point as well. Now, if you're not looking for a full meal, just across from Toledo is the Dahlia Lounge with the same floor-to-ceiling windows and an outdoor patio space to see the fireworks. I love this place. Nobody knows about it. It's super under the radar, and it's fabulous. And Topolino's Terrace over at the Riviera Resort allows you to see the Epcot fireworks at night too from the expansive windows of the restaurant. Or you can take your drinks out on the rooftop to see them even closer. Now, this is one of my favorite secrets. People think when they go to Disney World that they have to go to a sit-down table service restaurant in order to get edible food because fast food is never good, right? Wrong. There are so many places to get really good food without taking up the time or the money to do a sit-down restaurant. I'm going to start by noting the hotel lounges at Disney World. These are a solid way to get great cocktails and great food, either because they're attached to one of Disney's swanky table service restaurants or because they've got a kitchen all their own and can whip up something really nice for you as well. Of course, one of my favorite places to go, Cruise Cup Lounge at Yacht Club. Get those prime rib sliders. I'm never going to stop talking about them. And one of the best parts about the resort lounges is that you don't need an advanced dining reservation to access them. You just walk up to the host stand and see if there's any availability. But side note, I'm so not kidding about the prime rib sliders. Please order them and experience this masterpiece so I can bond with you afterwards. If you're looking for something a bit faster, you've got a few great options around the Magic Kingdom at the monorail resorts. Contempo Cafe at the Contemporary Resort's got burgers and mini corn dogs. Captain Cook's at the Polynesian has some awesome pulled pork nachos. And Gasparilla Island Grill at the Grand Floridian has the best mac and cheese in Disney World. Multi-pass. What are we going to do with you? Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to score the best lightning lanes with it and make that money dropped into money well spent. Think of this tip as a way to help you find better times for attractions if you're not super stoked with what you're already holding on to for whatever reason. Maybe because it's a later return time than you like, or it's clashing with a dining reservation. Whatever the reason, this might help. Now, when you're on the main screen, tap on the selection you're looking to modify the time for, and then select Modify Plan in the pop-up. You'll be taken to a screen where you can modify the experience by either choosing a new time or choosing a new experience entirely. On this page, select whatever new time the app gives you at first, even if it's still not your cup of tea. Then you'll be taken to a screen to review the details of your selection. On this page, find the attraction again, and you'll see a Modify Time option in blue text. Tap on this to see a list of available times. Then you can repeatedly tap Close, then Modify Time again to keep on refreshing the available times. Your selections are only saved for 5 5 minutes, but you can continue to refresh the available times up until then. And if the 5 minutes run out, you can simply back out and come back in. Wash, rinse, repeat. The best part about this hack is that you can try it out without risking losing your selections. As long as you don't fully confirm your change, your selections will go back to the way they were before. No harm, no foul. I wouldn't dawdle on this hack for too long or anything, but it's not a bad way to kill some time while you're waiting in line for a ride. See if you can find a better time frame for your next one. By the way, if you're wanting to learn all about the multi-pass, single pass, skip the line system in an easy to digest sort of way right before your big Disney World trip, go ahead and scan the QR code you see on the screen right now or head over to disneyfoodblog.com/multipass. We're going to send our new free Lightning Lane guide to your inbox ASAP. It is super, super helpful. And again, it's totally free, so there's really no downside. Okay, once again, Soda Goblin AJ emerges from the depths of her Diet Coke, actually Diet Pepsi, caves to impart her carbonated wisdom to all who wish to hear. Now, while there are tons of quick services inside the Disney World parks, not all of them are going to give you free refills. I know this very well because I've been known to order 2 drinks at my quick service spot before just to have double the soda consumption. I need it in my veins. I know it's not healthy. I'm sorry. We all have, our downsides. But then there are the quick services that do have soda refills stations, and I love them for that. Nope, I'm not just talking about the soda stations that give you a limited amount of time to access free refills. I'm talking about soda stations that'll give you the full power to refill your cup as often as your little Soda Goblin heart desires after you purchase it. So here's where you can find those free soda refill stations inside the parks. At Hollywood Studios, free refills are located at Backlot Express and ABC Commissary. At Epcot, you can find them at Connections Eatery, Regal Eagle Smokehouse, and Sunshine Seasons. And at Animal Kingdom, find them at Restaurantosaurus and Satuli Canteen. Unfortunately, Magic Kingdom does not currently have any quick services with this unlimited soda station refill advantage, but Disney Springs has a few at quick services like Deluxe Burger, Earl of Sandwich, Chicken Guy, and Blaze Fast Fired Pizza, just to name a few. Now, don't be a jerk and fill up your water bottle with soda or whatever. Just if you buy the soda, you can get free refills. Don't be weird. Don't make it weird. Now, call me power hungry, but I don't only love having the power to refill my soda cup as much as I want to. I also love being able to control how much Dole Whip I can swirl into my cup. So I guess it's a good thing that Swan and Dolphin caters to these ultra specific demands. Remember when Captain Cook's used to have serve your own Dole Whip, like SelfServe, and Captain Cook's used to be open 24 hours, so you could go in there and get Dole Whip any time of day or night. It was amazing. Well, we don't live in those times anymore, my friends, but Swan and Dolphin does have a quick service called Fuel, which is on the Dolphin side of things, and it's got this bright neon sign telling everyone to chill out. I need those signs plastered all the way down I-4, please and thank you. And inside this little chill out area, you're gonna find SelfServe Froyo as well as SelfServe Pineapple Dole Whip. You can even choose to swirl it with its neighboring flavor, which is usually the sweet coconut, though it can switch up at times. You can also top it off with, well, toppings straight from the toppings bar to really hit home with the customization power. As of right now, this is the only place we know of to get self-serve Dole Whip in Disney World, so I don't know why there isn't a line 10 miles long for this place. Now, just recently, Bria went to Magic Kingdom on the same day that Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party would be taking place that night. And you know what? Zero regrets. She didn't attend the party that evening, so she did have to leave the park when the clock struck 6 p.m., meaning she couldn't stick around for dinner or late night rides or even a fireworks show, but the crowds were so light that day, and this is something that our reporters have noticed as well. If it is a party day in Magic Kingdom, a lot of people are very smart and decide not to use their Magic Kingdom day that day because they're going to have to leave at 6 instead of doing the whole day and getting the fireworks and everything. And so you see very, very low crowds and wait times on those Magic Kingdom party days. You can walk onto Pirates of the Caribbean. You can grab some lunch at Columbia Harbor House. You don't have to fight for a table. You can take some great pictures in front of Cinderella Castle without all the excess photobombing from other guests. You can get a great view for the Festival of Fantasy Parade. And best of all, you can just walk around Magic Kingdom without people getting all up in your business. So sure, there's the downside of going to Magic Kingdom on a party day because you will have a shorter day in the park, but there's a much better chance you'll be able to spend your Magic Kingdom day with much lighter crowds, making the quality of your experience better than the quantity of it. Plus, if you have a park hopper, just hop over to another park at 6 o'clock and do their nighttime spectacular. As you know, I am never going to stop reminding you to stay hydrated. Now, one of our favorite recent-ish My Disney Experience updates has been the addition of water bottle refill locations on the maps. Now, while you can find water fountains next to almost any bathroom, you can now discover the nifty refill stations without having to wander aimlessly through the parks, hoping you'll come across one by chance. Simply search for water bottle refill or something similar in the app's search engine, then tap on the water bottle refill stations link that pops up. From there, tap the Find on Map button to display a map with all the water bottle refill stations available. Oh, and side note, the My Disney Experience app has also started adding phone charging stations to their interactive maps. There's not a lot of them on there yet, but it's a start. Okay, this is a great tip and it can save you a ton of money. Whether you're planning on staying at a Disney-owned hotel or some other hotel entirely during your next Orlando vacation, sometimes you can start to feel a little bit of that buyer's regret when you're checking into your standard room, but the person next to you is checking into their fancy schmancy suite. I can tell a green-eyed monster when I see one because I am one all the time. So, is there a way to still get a hotel room upgrade at the last minute and maybe even for free? Sure, of course. It's definitely not a guarantee, but it's all really based around the stars aligning, and here are a few tricks that might help you improve your chances of those stars. First of all, while this might sound very basic or corny, the number one way to potentially get a hotel room upgrade is to ask politely. Honestly, sometimes all it takes is the act of reaching out and seeing what's available. Worst case scenario, there's nothing, and you still get to snuggle up in your standard room all comfy cozy at night. Best case scenario, the upgraded room of your dreams is all yours for the taking. Believe it or not, Disney does want people in those suites because then they might be convinced to buy them the next time. So if they have them open, you may very well be able to upgrade to one of those without paying for it. Now, asking ahead of time can also help you get a leg up on the upgrade game. So make sure you mark those special requirements or requests when you book your room, which can also be helpful in potentially getting you an upgrade. Want a room with a good view? Or how about a room with more space? If you note these room specifications when booking, some hotels might see them and go the extra mile to fulfill those requests. Now, are you going on your honeymoon? Is it your birthday? Are you celebrating a special occasion, baby moon, graduation? Is this your first ever Disney World vacation? Have you just finished chemo? Whatever the reason or circumstances surrounding your trip, share them with the hotel staff or cast members. They might want to help you celebrate too with a little bonus room upgrade. Please don't lie. Again, don't make it weird. And I cannot emphasize this one enough. Be kind. As they say, you get more flies with honey than with vinegar. Also, it's just nice to be nice without any reason for it whatsoever. Literally, why did I just learn about this the other day? At select Disney resorts, like the Value All-Star Resorts, for instance, there are daily tournaments that take place inside the hotel arcades where you can test your skills and possibly compete for prizes too. Oh, and I'm sure you get the bragging rights to go along with it. It's always a good idea to check and see what specific activities are going to be offered at your resort during your visit. So go ahead and either ask a cast member behind the front desk after you check in, or be on the lookout for signs posted around the lobby or outside the feature pools. Disney World rides during the day? Awesome. Select Disney World rides at night? Potentially even better. Many times we might wait to ride a certain popular Disney World ride until the end of the day just because the lines will more than likely die down for them as people start to go back to their hotels and hit the hay. But sometimes you'll catch us waiting to ride certain Disney rides simply because the nighttime ambiance really elevates the attraction to the nth degree. With that being said, here are just a few of our favorite rides to experience at night. In Magic Kingdom, Tron Light Cycle Run is so much fun once the sun sets because you get to see that blue and orange grid all lit up as bright as all get out. Now this makes the ride feel overall more immersive, much more Tron-like, since you do not get the same glowy effect when the sun's still shining. Also, there's no blue sky and sun in the grid, come on. Now, I also love riding Seven Dwarfs Mine Train at night and Big Thunder Mountain too, since the effects and props are clearer in the cave areas and the coasters themselves feel faster in the dark. In Epcot, all the rides are pretty much indoors right now. I say right now because the verdict for Test Track is still out. We'll have to see what it's like once it reopens in summer 2025. That being said, Living with the Land can be very cool to see at night just because a lot of it takes place inside Disney's greenhouses, so it's kind of cool and kind of eerie to ride through this one when the natural sunlight isn't beaming across all the plants. And what makes this one even better to see at night is when you visit around the holidays, since Disney will string Christmas lights throughout the ride, illuminating the greenhouses to make all the greenery merry and bright. It's really fun. Now in Hollywood Studios, Slinky Dog Dash isn't just more tolerable to wait in line for at night since the sun won't be beating down on you, but there are extra lights and effects along the track that make the ride feel a whole lot more exciting. And And I think this one might go without saying, but Tower of Terror at night? Yeah, talk about over-the-top immersive when those elevator doors open up so you can see the lights shining down below. You're going to find yourself in this sense of awe, quickly followed by extreme fear as you plummet faster than the speed of gravity. No, really, it's a fun time. And in Animal Kingdom, you might not always get to experience rides at night because this park does usually close earlier than the others, and therefore in the summer it tends to close before the sun sets. But if you do get the chance to be in Animal Kingdom when the sun goes down, first, it's awesome, and two, Expedition Everest is great because you get to look across the lit up park as you scale the mountain. And much like Big Thunder Mountain and Seven Dwarfs, the cave features are way clearer. Okay, here's how to never lose your kids in Disney World. Believe it or not, it happens more often than you think. And unfortunately, when you're in Disney World, a game of Marco Polo is not going to help you keep track of them. When there's a sea of people surrounding you at all times, that's not the most reassuring thought ever. That's why we've been big fans of the AirTag method lately. In case you don't know what that is, Apple AirTags are small devices that use Bluetooth to connect to your iPhone or iPad. You can use the Find My app on your device to track down where your AirTag is, which is super helpful if you tend to misplace items. Hi, that's me. Or if you just want to make sure you've got an eye out on your kid inside the parks at all times. There are a couple of ways your kids can wear an AirTag. For instance, there are those neat Disney bracelets and necklaces on Amazon that can hold them. Many even come in cute Disney designs, and bonus, are water resistant too. But another option is to attach them to their shoes. These little AirTag cases can slide right onto a Velcro strap on a tennis shoe, making them very convenient and helping secure your peace of mind. There are a lot of things to love about Coronado Springs Resort in Disney World. The food options, sangria classes, the Grandestino Tower. But if you want to find out where I'm hanging out, just head to the dig site where you're going to find the Lost City of Cibola pool, as well as the largest hot tub on Disney property. According to Disney, this hot tub has room for 22 tribesmen. But if you're not really keen on sharing it with 22 other bodies, I'd recommend heading down to enjoy it earlier in the morning when the dig site first opens, which will be around 10 a.m. Now, if you saw me the last time I was in Epcot sitting under a table to try to cool down my phone, no, you didn't. Okay, I know you did. It's okay. We're friends, so we see each other at our high points and our low points. But that was definitely a low point because my phone would not stop dying on me in the Florida heat. But as the DFB motto goes, we make the mistakes so you don't have to. So this is how we're starting to combat the overheating phone issues that you might come across during your park day. First, take those screenshots of your plans and your reservations and your itinerary. Anything that you just need to look at but don't necessarily need to access an app for, just so your phone doesn't have to do any extra work than it needs to. Second, create a little phone nest in your bag that maybe has one of those cooling packs you can activate once you're inside the parks. You familiar with Hot Hands? Yeah, those instant cool packs, like the ones we found on Amazon, work the same sort of way without needing to be kept frozen. You just shake the bottom contents of the bag, fold it in half, shake it up, and then whammo, you got yourself a nice little disposable cooling device. Just make sure to wrap it up in a towel or washcloth so you're not pressing your phone directly against it. And third, step into the AC. If you're sweating bullets, your phone probably is too. So it's a good idea to step inside a gift shop or quick service or side pavilion, etc. if you're planning on looking at something on your phone for an extended amount of time, which was the method I started using at Epcot because going inside the Shanghai Disneyland exhibit in the China Pavilion was working a whole lot better than sitting under a table. So you can get a Mickey Waffle for under $3 in Disney World. Yep, I said what I said. Here's how it's done. In the morning, hit up the quick service Contempo Cafe over at the Contemporary Resort for breakfast. Here, you're going to find a few different Mickey Waffle options. There's the standard adult portion that comes with your choice of side for around $11. There's the kids portion for under $8. And then there's the side option too, which will hook you up with a singular small Mickey Waffle for just $2.99. Slightly crispy, small, tiny Mickey Waffles are simply the best form of Mickey Waffle. According to Bria, I like the bigger ones better, but what do you think? Let us know in the comments. It's also worth noting that if you decide to stay at the Disney Springs area Hotel Drury Plaza, you'll have access to a continental breakfast that comes included in your room price, which has a waffle making station where you can make your own giant Mickey Waffle. Now that's a secret worth telling. So we have been knees deep in updating the DFB guide to Walt Disney World dining as of late, which you can find over at dfbstore.com, which is why my brain is currently swimming with Disney Springs restaurant advice. Specifically, Disney Springs Restaurant happy hours and drinks. There are a lot of different happy hours and drink specials across lots of the different Disney Springs restaurants, and we've got them all featured in the guide, like every single one. But here are a few for you to sip and savor right now that we don't talk about nearly enough on the channel. For starters, Haleo has a handful of different specialty drink events, but the most consistent one is the Sangria Hour that happens every day from 11:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. out on the bar and patio. There's also bottomless mimosas and Bloody Marys that you can order at House of Blues during brunch. And at Frontera Cocina, you can order the classic margarita for $5 every Monday and $5 shots of Gracias a Dios, Espada, and Mezcal every Tuesday. According to the website, you can order as many as you'd like both days, but oh my goodness, please drink responsibly. And the Edison just added a brand new happy hour Sunday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. You can get some of their signature appetizers and cocktails at a lower price. Sometimes you just really need a Disney activity that you don't have to wait in line for and you don't have to pay for, which is why we really enjoy the unique resort scavenger hunts you can take part in at almost all the Disney hotels around property. You might even get a prize for completing them. Not only is this a fun game to play with the family, but it gives you the opportunity to check out places around your hotel that maybe you would have otherwise overlooked. But which resort scavenger hunts are the best? Here are a few we've really enjoyed completing in the past. At Animal Kingdom Lodge, you can go on a character photo hunt and track down Timon and Pumbaa, who'll be hiding out around various locations in the resort. At Wilderness Lodge, instead of tracking down Timon and Pumbaa, you can head off to search for Chip and Dale. And at Grand Floridian Resort and Spa, you can hunt for the penguins straight out of Mary Poppins. I also just saw I was staying at Port Orleans Riverside, and you can search for hidden rays from Princess and the Frog. Oh, I love that little lightning bug. Now, speaking of Port Orleans, don't solely go to Scat Cat's Club Lounge for the beignets. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying don't get the Port Orleans French Quarter beignets because they are so good and fresh, they might make you cry. What I'm actually saying is don't overlook the other items on the Scat Cat's Club Lounge menu when you've got your beignet blinders on. There are lots of other options here that we've really enjoyed ordering too that are a bit more on the savory side of things. Those house-made pimento cheese fritters, they've got them at French Quarter and they have them at Riverside. Please order them if you're there. They are so good, and they come with a side of pepper jelly. There's also the gumbo poutine made with steak fries that are loaded with gumbo and cheese curds and cheese sauce. And just keep in mind too that Scat Cat's Club Lounge doesn't open until 5 p.m. each day, but if you really need those beignets, Scat Cat's Club Cafe opens bright and early at 7 a.m. and they're the main specialty there. You don't want just any melty cheese in Disney World. You want the best melty cheese in Disney World, and I know where you can find it. Now, in case you're new here, I'm sort of a melty cheese-aholic, and if you're not new here, well, I'm gonna ask you to please stop laughing at me because this is important information, okay? So if you're looking for the most generous portion of plastic cheese, which is what I call that golden cheesy goodness that you know is probably fake and there's probably not any actual food in there, but it tastes so really good, is over at Backlot Express in Hollywood Studios. Because they don't just give you a cup of plastic cheese at Backlot when you order it, they give you like a tub's worth. Now, if you're looking for queso and the cheapest side of queso, you can grab that over at Pecos Bill Tall Tale Inn and Cafe for just $1 extra. If you look on the website menu for it, you might not see it, but it's definitely still available on the My Disney Experience mobile order feature. And then if you're just straight up looking for my favorite cheese dip in all of Disney World, which is a huge claim, but I am very confident about this one, the winner will always be the Dubliner Irish cheese and bacon dip at Cooks of Dublin in Disney Springs. This stuff is amazing, y'all. It's rich and cheesy. It's so sharp, and that bacon just lends a little bit of extra savory depth to really elevate the whole thing. It's a perfect fry companion, hands down. Okay, sure, you could use your dining plan table service credits on a normal sit-down meal in Hollywood Studios, or you could spend the exact same amount of credits and receive VIP treatment. I love this tip. Please write it down. Please share it with Aunt Susan. Let everybody know about this. The Fantasmic Dining Package offers you a meal at participating restaurants in Hollywood Studios and reserved seating for a showing of the popular Fantasmic Nighttime Spectacular. Guests may choose from 50's Primetime Cafe, Mama Melrose's Ristorante Italiano, Hollywood and Vine, Sci-Fi Dine-In, or the Hollywood Brown Derby for the dining package. Now, while dining packages usually cost about $57 to $83 per adult, you're more than welcome to use Disney Dining Plan dining credits instead of paying out of pocket if you've already purchased a standard dining plan for your trip. All Fantasmic dining packages cost 1 table service credit per person except Hollywood Brown Derby, which costs 2 since it's a signature restaurant. But the fact that you can use 1 credit to get not just the meal, but also the meal and the special VIP seating for Fantasmic, oh my goodness, that is such a huge deal. please, please, please use your dining credits for that. Now, Disney recently came up with this invention to help you prevent potentially throwing your money away. Surprise! I know! Now, you know those giant round suckers you can pick up at the gift shops and confectionery locations? Those are pretty popular among the kids. Yep, kiddos could watch 1,000 DFB snack videos and still go to the parks and be hypnotized by the promise of colorful swirling candy. But because those lollipops are so big, usually it just takes kids a few sugary licks before they're done with the whole thing, and then they don't want to carry it, so they hand it to you. But you don't want to carry that thing either, and you certainly don't want to stick it in your park bag, so you just might end up throwing it away. Bam, there goes like $10 down the drain. And that's why Disney came up with the Mickey branded lollipop saver. These containers are about $11 in Main Street USA Emporium and can be put around any lollipop, even a non-Disney one that's 4 ounces or smaller. Not only will it keep your bag from getting all sticky while you wait for your little one to want it again, but it's reusable. Just wash it out and prep it for the next giant lollipop your kid begs for. Or, you could save yourself the $11 purchase entirely and just bring some Ziploc baggies from home and save your lollipop for free. Ziploc bags coming to save the day and your money yet again. I really need to get Ziploc to sponsor us because I live for Ziploc bags. Anybody know anybody at Ziploc? Let us know. Anyway, where to find in-room hotel dining just steps away from the parks. There may be times on your Disney World vacation that you just don't feel like going out to eat and would rather have a nice meal all cozy in your hotel room. Alas, most Disney hotels don't have room service back since COVID. Yep, it's come back at like one hotel. I think only Grand Floridian has it back since COVID. So that's a bummer. But the Walt Disney World Swan and Dolphin hotels and the Swan Reserve play by their own rules. Now, since these hotels are owned by Marriott and not Disney, they have their own app where you can keep track of your reservation and see things like restaurant menus and amenity hours. This app also has an in-room dining feature where you can order food up to your room for breakfast and dinner at the Swan and Dolphin and breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the Swan Reserve. The cool thing about this feature is that you can order for immediate delivery or you can pre-order your meal for delivery at a later time. So if you're on a bus back to the hotel and your kiddo's going to be taking a nap once you get back, if they're not already, you can pre-order your meal for the time you plan for them to wake up. So price increases, as you know, are rampant in Disney World. The cost of hotels and park tickets increase regularly, but food prices have consistently increased around the same time almost every year for several years now. Like clockwork, we've seen food prices increase around the month of October pretty consistently. The increases aren't usually a lot per item, usually 50 cents to $2, but this can add up quickly to your total bill when just about everything on property gets a price hike. So if you're heading to Disney World this fall or next fall or the fall after that, go ahead and budget a few extra dollars per day just in case you need it. Because if you end up not needing it, that's a much better scenario than needing it and not having it. So let's say you've made reservations for Liberty Tree Tavern in Magic Kingdom to eat unlimited Thanksgiving food and say hello to Tomato Baby. Look at him, just nibbling on a tomato. Not a care in the world. But on the day of your Magic Kingdom visit, dear Aunt Susan decides that she too wants to be added to the dining reservation. And even though she was pretty set on skipping out to go get Casey's Corner chili dogs, you were in the middle of making all your big Disney dining reservations for the whole family 60 days out. And now she's decided that she wants to come. So it's fine. Everything's fine because you can still modify your dining reservations as long as it's 2 hours or more before your reserved dining time. And that includes adding or taking away guests and modifying times or changing the restaurant entirely. Now, note, some dining reservations need to be canceled prior to that 2-hour time frame to avoid paying a cancellation fee. Reservations like Hoop-Dee-Doo Musical Review and Fireworks Dining Packages need to be canceled at least 1 day prior, while Monsieur Paul needs to be canceled 3 days prior, and Victoria and Albert's is 5 days prior. You can view the full cancellation policies when you're booking your dining reservations on the My Disney Experience app. Now, what happens when you try to modify the Liberty Tree Tavern reservation to add Aunt Susan and it says, well, there are no tables for that many people. Maybe you had 4 people before and now you have a 5th person. Don't worry too much. Usually I have had luck going up to the check-in counter at the restaurant and saying, Aunt Susan wanted to come. Can you accommodate a 5th person? I would say 9 times out of 10, they are able to do that. Please don't try to have them accommodate like 10 more people. But if Grandma and Grandpa decided that they don't feel well and they can't come, so you have to have a lower number, or if Aunt Susan needs to come suddenly and you've got that 1 extra person, usually they can accommodate that, but it's not guaranteed. So if you're not able to modify your reservation that 2 hours before, you can go up and ask and see if they're able to accommodate. It may just take a little bit longer to get seated. So gone are the days of waiting until the day of your park visit to find out how much you'll have to pay for lightning lanes. Now you can know weeks ahead what prices are going to look like for this line bypassing system during your trip. Multi-pass and single pass lightning lanes give you a preview of prices before you book them. To find the Lightning Lane price calendar, just open your My Disney Experience app, find the Lightning Lane section on the home page, should be toward the very top, and tap on the purchase button. Then select one of the days on the calendar to learn more about that day's Lightning Lane prices. Okay, this is brand new information for us too. Larda's Inda opens in Epcot's France Pavilion daily at noon. That's not the new information. Hang on. If you get a hankering for some of that sweet, creamy, all-around delectable ice cream before then, though, select Larda flavors are also sold at another France Pavilion quick service, Crepes en Porter, which I know I don't ever say that right. Anyway, it opens at 9 a.m. And whoever's trying to tell you that you can't have ice cream for breakfast is someone who's trying to steal your joy. Now, we love Disney's after-hours events because A, they're less crowded, B, we can get in line for the rides with way shorter waits, and C, it's cooler out since these events take place after the sun's already set. Oh, and D, you get complimentary food like Mickey ice cream bars and ice cream sandwiches and popcorn and fruit bars and sodas throughout the night. Now, the downside of these events, they're expensive. You saw that downside coming from a mile away, didn't you? Prices for after-hours events do vary by day, so we've gone ahead and did all the dirty work for you and looked at all the days that after-hours events will be happening over the course of next year, so we can tell you when the after-hours ticket prices are their cheapest. For Magic Kingdom, after-hours tickets range between $175 and $185 per person, but those $175 tickets are going to be available on January 6th and 13th, as well as on May 5th. For Epcot, ticket prices range from $155 to $175, but the $155 ones will be available August 7th, 14th, 21st, and 28th, as well as September 11th and 25th. And for Hollywood Studios, ticket prices range between $155 and $185, but the $155 ones will be available on August 20th, 27th, and September 3rd. For after-hours events at Hollywood Studios and Epcot, but not Magic Kingdom, annual pass holders and DVC members can save up to $30 per ticket. Now dust off your captain's hat and warm up your voice for some sea shanties because Disney wants you to be the driver of one of their pontoon boats. I am serious. They trust you that much. All you got to do is head on over to the marina at hotels like the Contemporary Resort, Beach Club, Grand Floridian, a couple of others. And then once you're there, you can rent one of their pontoon boats for $50 per half hour. You won't be able to book ahead of time, which means this is a first come, first serve kind of experience. So if you're planning to make your captain's debut at Disney World, be sure to arrive around 10:30 a.m. to get in line. The rentals start at 11, but those lines can fill up fast and you won't want to miss out. Once it's your turn at the rental window, this is where things get real. You're going to sign some paperwork, flash your ID, you have to be at least 18 to drive, and then, drum roll please, they will slap a green wristband on you to officially make you boat captain certified. By the way, don't stress out too much with this level of responsibility because the boats only reach speeds of up to 5 miles per hour and cast members will be stationed in speedboats around the lagoon ready to swoop in if things go a little sideways. Trust me, I've driven these boats and I definitely am worse at it than you. So if you're not already picking up on this, some of the best kept Disney World secrets are housed in the Disney hotels. And if you don't believe me, tell me, did you know you could take a pickleball class at Disney? Feels random, but it's definitely the sport that's taken the US by storm, and Disney's hopping on that trend too. My Aunt Janet really loves pickleball. Now, you can find pickleball courts at Disney's Yacht Club, Bay Lake Tower, at Contemporary Resort, Kidani Village at Animal Kingdom Lodge, and Old Key West Resort. And depending on when you're staying at one of these resorts, you might also be able to take a beginner's pickleball class while you're there. Just check your resort's activity schedule to see if these pickleball classes are available during your stay. And if they're not, you can still pick up a racket and ball and play around on the court whenever the pickleball mood strikes. Okay, so we've got a little extended evening hours tragedy that you need to know about. No stress, everything's going to be fine. But as it turns out, Disney's extended evening hours perk might not be the foolproof skip the line solution that you thought it was. So this is different from after hours, by the way. After hours, anyone can go as long as you pay the money. And extended evening hours, you have to be staying at a deluxe Disney resort and then you get to go for free. Anyway, extended evening hours are available for those deluxe resort guests only on select evenings at certain parks, giving giving those deluxe resort guests an extra 2 hours to explore and hit up the rides after the park closes for everybody else. That sounds fantabulous, but as it turns out, not every ride stays open during these extended evening hours. This problem is most prevalent over at Magic Kingdom, where the newest attraction, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, is missing from the extended evening hours lineup. But you know what's even worse than that? People Mover isn't open during extended evening hours either. I know, this was a shock to me. It kind of rocked my world. Literally, Disney, you want me to go to Magic Kingdom and not ride People Mover over and over again? Who do you think I am? Now, before you rely on these extended evening hours for any of the parks, double check the Disney World website to make sure the rides you want to hit up during that time will actually be available. And whatever rides might be missing from that list, you'll still want to make it a priority to ride those during the normal daytime park hours. So this is a split stay hack. It's been around for a while now, but the free water park hack attached to it is a brand new piece of info. So let me catch you up to speed on both ends so you know exactly what I'm talking about here. If you opt for a split hotel stay, you can book one Disney hotel for the start of your vacation, like a more affordable value resort, and then cap off your trip at a different Disney resort, in a deluxe resort room maybe, for instance, just so you can live in the lap of Disney resort luxury without paying the full luxury price for a full week-long stay. If you do book a split stay, Disney will even help transport your luggage between hotels for you. You can drop off your luggage at Bell Services in the morning when you check out of your first hotel, and then head out for the day without having to worry about needing to transfer your bags to your second hotel. They'll do it for you, and they'll be there ready to greet you when your next room is ready at your second resort. Okay, so what does this hack have to do with the free water park perk that's going to start up for all Disney hotel guests in 2025? Currently, you'll only be able to receive that free water park day on your hotel check-in day. However, a cast member recently confirmed for us that if you have a split stay in 2025, you'll be able to use that complimentary water park admission on both of your check-in days. Yep, 2 free water park tickets. Now, that might be too much water park action for you, especially since only one Disney water park stays open at a time nowadays, either Typhoon Lagoon or Blizzard Beach. That being said, you can still use the split stay perk to your advantage. If you only want to do one water park day, but you're still planning on doing a split stay, choose to use the free water park perk on your second check-in day instead of your first. That way, you'll already be in the Disney bubble and can fully take advantage of getting to the water park right at opening without any potential flight delays getting in your way. And you can potentially save thousands on your dream Disney World stay. How? Through reliable Disney Vacation Club rentals. Disney Vacation Club is a timeshare program for Disney guests who frequent the parks a lot. DVC members will be able to select a home resort, which will determine the amount of yearly vacation points they receive. Now, vacation points can be spent to book resort stays with the flexibility of when, where, and how long each Disney-owned vacation will be. Again, that's the short version, but it'll do for now because I'm not telling you to buy DVC. That's not the hack. DVC points can be carried over into the next year, and because DVC owners can't just ask for a refund on these points if they can't use them, then they could be out a whole lot of money if they don't use those points. That's where the third-party rental sites come into play. DVC rental sites, we use David's DVC Rentals all the time, help DVC owners sell their points to non-DVC members looking for a steal of a deal on a deluxe resort stay. This way, the member will be able to make back some of the money, and the DVC renter, that's you and me, will have a very safe way to rent points to stay in a deluxe resort for hundreds of dollars less than we would have to pay if we were booking straight through Disney World. Just make sure to do your research ahead of time before going through a DVC rental service, and make sure you've studied up on all the fine print. So heads up, FYI, there are times when Disney World is really, really busy. I know, that's a shock to you. That is not the tip though. I'm not saying you can't have fun in the parks during peak season times if you've prepared for the crowds by making those advanced dining reservations 60 days out, studying up on your lightning lane services, securing your hotel and using a savings opportunity from Disney's special offers, then you can still set yourself up for success. But some of Disney's busy seasons are easier to predict than others. For instance, major holidays like around Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's, 3 to 4 day weekends like Labor Day or Memorial Day weekend, and spring break season, which peaks in the middle of March, those are typically going to be the busiest times for the Disney parks. But be prepared for these sneaky events too that can also up the Disney World crowd levels when you least expect it. Event number 1, the first day of a new Epcot festival, as well as the first weekend of an Epcot festival. Locals like to flock to Epcot on the first days of a fest to see what's new or pick up any items that they haven't been able to enjoy since the last time that fest was around. Event number 2, Run Disney Race weekends. After a Run Disney race, runners will head into the parks to celebrate their big accomplishment, which means you'll want to hit up as many rides as you can early that day so you can beat the flood of runners coming into the parks to ride the rides. Event number 3, Jersey Week. Jersey Week happens yearly and is the result of the New Jersey Education Association's teacher convention. This year, Jersey Week will take place on November 7th and 8th, and during this convention, schools are closed from Monday, November 4th to Friday, November 8th. Which is prime time for New Jersey families to head south and take over the Disney parks by storm.
Hey everyone, Bria here. As someone who's been part of the pin trading scene for many years now, I guess it's about time I reveal to you some of my favorite pin trading techniques. And that's how you know I care about you, because part of me just kind of wants to gatekeep that information, but no, I'm not going to. I'm going to tell you, starting now. First things first. When you're at one of the Disney parks, head over to guest services and ask a cast member to see their pin collection. Usually, they'll pull out a giant board or pin binder for you to sift through, which makes you feel like you really hit the jackpot. The pin selection at these spots tend to be better at the start of the day rather than later on, but that's just in my personal experience. You might find it different for yourself. The resort gift shops are also a great place to do a little pin trading since the selections can get pretty picked over inside the parks. Meanwhile, the foot traffic through the resorts isn't quite as intense, giving you more of a chance to snatch up some real nice pin treasures. This is especially true for resort gift shops that might be a little farther away from the parks, like over at Animal Kingdom Lodge or Coronado Springs. Alright, okay, so this isn't exactly the best pin trading strategy always, but I'm a sucker for a blind box opening, and this helps scratch that itch for me without having to pay $10 plus on an actual piece of blind box merch. Every now and then, cast members will flip pins over on their pouches or lanyards to give you a mystery option. Ooh, I've gotten some great surprise pins this way, but I've also gotten some real doozies too, where you're just kind of like, oh, thanks. It's like that one Vine from back in the day. An avocado, thanks. Regardless, the gamble can be kind of thrilling, and if you've got a pin in your pouch that you're not super partial to anyways, it might be worth the risk.
Okay, I love this tip because we are not going to gatekeep Trader Sam's Grog Grotto. Now, do you want to get into Trader Sam's Grog Grotto? If you do, follow these rules. The Polynesian Village Resort Bar is a little trickier to access than the hotel lounges we usually talk about. But if you want to check out this enchanted, interactive Grog Grotto, this is what you're going to need to do. Right now, Trader Sam's opens daily starting at 3 p.m. By the way, the bar does stay open until midnight, but just keep in mind that after 8 p.m., it's only open for guests 21 and older. Just a little side tidbit of info for you. So this next part's a little confusing. You will have to wait in a physical line in order to sign up for the virtual queue, since the virtual queue sign up is not currently available on the My Disney Experience app for this location. That means you might want to get in line as early as 2 p.m. or earlier, since the virtual queue tends to open around 2:30. Yep. Grog Grotto is a time commitment, but in the past, my family and I have spent our morning at Magic Kingdom, then just hopped on a boat over to Polynesian Village to spend the afternoon doing the Grog Grotto thing, and I'll do it again in a heartbeat. It's a lot of fun. Now, even if you don't want drinks until later on in the day, you'll probably still want to line up pretty early since the virtual queue does fill up fast. When it's finally your turn to put your name on the list at the check-in desk, you'll receive a confirmation text to make sure all your party's information is correct. Then you'll later receive a text when your table is ready. Depending on where you're placed in the virtual queue, this could take a while. I've waited up to 2 hours before I was called back to the grotto before, though it's pretty easy to kill time when you're at the Polynesian Village Resort. I mean, I could probably spend that whole 2 hours just lounging on the beach side alone and be completely content with my decision. But when you receive your text telling you to head back over to the bar, try to get there as quickly as you can. You'll more than likely have a 10 to 15 minute window before your spot is given up to the next guest in line. Oh, another piece of info for you. The lowest waits you're probably ever going to find over at Trader Sam's will be the nights right before a Run Disney race takes place. Surprisingly enough, it seems runners don't want to spend the night before their 5 or 10K or marathon enjoying alcoholic beverages. Who would have thunk? It's a tough job, parents, but somebody's got to do it. There are a lot of benefits to self-flushing toilets. The main one, not having to flush. Hooray, fewer germs, but Some of these self-flushing toilets will sense any tiny movement and flush before you've even had a chance to stand up, which can be tough for parents who are still in the process of potty training their kiddos. That sudden, very loud flush is like a jump scare even for me, but then again, I'm the type who jumps when you gotta open the can of biscuits. If you know, you know. Now, if your kiddo is nervous when it comes to those self-flushing toilets, it's not a bad idea to invest in some, drumroll, Post-it notes. Stay with me here. Post-its can cover the toilet sensor without having to directly touch the sensor yourself. Just don't flush the Post-it note after. Make sure you're throwing it away in the trash. Otherwise, you might wind up accidentally clogging a Disney toilet. Nobody wants that. You can also track down the baby care centers in each of the parks. Though most of the in-park bathrooms will have automatic flushing porcelain thrones, the baby care center bathrooms don't. And maybe the most important tip of them all, practice. It's a good idea to track down those self-flushing toilets at your local mall or other local area and have your kid take them out for a spin. That way you can get some self-flushing potty training practice in a low-stakes environment before your trip. That's right, friends. You subscribe to the Disney Food Blog YouTube channel, you get all kinds of tips. While rooms can be upgraded from a standard to preferred status at any and all of Disney's hotels, it's significantly cheaper to upgrade your room at the value resorts, hence the name, especially at the 3 all-star locations where you'll typically be paying an extra $25 per night if you go the preferred route. So what does this mean? Why would you want to pay extra for a preferred room in the first place? Well, preferred hotel rooms mean that your room is going to be situated in a much more desirable location, like closer to the main lobby where the shopping and food are, as well as bus transportation. Since the value resorts are very spread out, like very spread out, a standard room at one of these hotels could potentially place you in a building that's on the far opposite end of where the lobby and bus transportation are. So this $25 upgrade, it's per night by the way, could save you so much time and so many steps, which your feet are going to thank you for. If you've ever wanted to get a photo with Cinderella's glass slipper, now's your chance. There's a photo op area set up at the Grand Floridian with a colorful backdrop and the famous glass slipper that poor old Cindy just couldn't keep on her foot when fleeing from the ball. You can find it on the 2nd floor of the resort's main building above the lobby. Now, this is something nobody really knows about. Nobody talks about it. It's just there, but once we mention it, people love it. Now, here is a souvenir you might not have expected to buy in Disney World. For $21, you can own a funnel cake gift kit straight from the funnel cake kiosk in Epcot's American Adventure Pavilion. Nope, it's not an actual funnel cake, though you can still get those here too. It's a funnel cake kit that's going to help you make funnel cakes once you're back at home. Now, the kit comes with a bag of funnel cake mix, a funnel cake pourer, and instructions on how to make your own funnel cake. For the record, this is a 5-pound bag of funnel cake mix, so you might want to pick it up later rather than earlier on so you can avoid carrying an extra 5 pounds all day long. But this is like a perfect gift for a Disney fan or, just when you're trying to recreate your Epcot day at home. So every once in a while, an unofficial group of Star Wars fans gets together to plan a massive lightsaber meetup in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Fans organize via Discord and social media for these events, which include lightsabers, some cosplay, and Star Wars Disney bounds. One of the best parts about these events, aside from all the lit up sabers once the sun sets, is that although this is unofficial, Disney sometimes brings out some characters for a little show during the meetup to play along. It's just a whole lot of fun and a great way for Star Wars fans to safely mix and mingle with other Star Wars fans. So if you're interested in attending future meetups like this, you can get more details from the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge Discord group. The meetup is free, but you will need a valid ticket to get into Hollywood Studios for the evening. Now, Rise of the Resistance is one of the most popular rides in Disney World, meaning it will have long wait times all day long. Now, if you don't want to shell out $25 per person to skip the line with a lightning lane, keep an eye out for a cast member near the exit of the attraction holding a sign for the single rider line. You'll skip the main queue and unfortunately the pre-show elements and head straight to the Star Destroyer and the loading area for the ride vehicles. A big caveat here, we would not recommend the single rider line at Rise of the Resistance if you haven't ridden it before. Those pre-show elements are awesome and set up the storyline of the ride, but if you've ridden it before or if it's like a last minute trip and there's no way you're gonna get to ride this ride again, look out for that single rider sign. This is technically still in testing mode. They've been testing it for years and sometimes it comes and goes, so it may not be available all day, every day. But cast members we've spoken to at the ride think it will become a little bit more of an option going forward. Okay, sounds kind of mysterious, doesn't it? The Avent Room? But really, this spot in Disney's Riviera Resort is less mysterious and more kind of artsy-fartsy. The Avent Room is a place where you can pay to create your own Disney souvenirs, like coasters and sugar scrubs and wine glasses and tumblers, even Disney animation cells. Craft prices vary from $5 to $20 per activity, and on select afternoons in the Avent Room, you can even take part in Painting on the Riviera experience, which is an instructor-led paint class where food and beverages will be provided. When offered, this experience typically costs around $55 per person. Now, I'm not much of a coffee drinker because I'm a soda goblin and I love myself some tea, and that takes precedence over all other caffeinated beverages, but I know a lot of you out there are coffee drinkers. Specifically, I know a lot of you love your Starbucks drinks. Now, the downside about getting Starbucks inside the parks is that you can't use mobile order, so you're going to be stuck standing in those really long lines. Unless it's afternoon, crowds tend to die down a little after the morning rush chills out, but then you hit that 3 o'clock slump and you know how it is. But there is one place you can still mobile order Starbucks from inside the Disney bubble, and that's over at the Disney Springs Starbucks locations. They've got 2 Starbucks stops inside the shopping district. First is a pickup window over in the marketplace area, right outside the Giant World of Disney store, and the second is on the west side of Disney Springs. Now that one is a full-on Starbucks storefront. To mobile order from either location, just use the Starbucks app. We're entering into our Yeehaw era over at Hoop-Dee-Doo Musical Review in Disney's Fort Wilderness. But before you book your advanced dining reservations for this hoedown dinner theater show, I gotta let you know about your seating choices here. There are 3 pricing categories for Hoop-Dee-Doo. Category 1 is $74 for adults, Category 2 is $69 for adults, and Category 3 is $66 for adults. And yes, this is one of the few restaurants where you will have to prepay for your meal in order to book it. Now, let the record show that every seat in Hoop-Dee-Doo offers an okay view. However, these cheaper Category 3 tables, some of them have turn stools where you must swivel to view the show, which will face a different direction from your table. There are also a few Category 3 tables that just have obstructed views. Now, the show does take several intermissions, specifically for food service and more chowing down, but really, for the best views of the stage, go ahead and splurge the extra couple bucks for Category 1 or 2 seating. I try to avoid Category 3 completely. Are you the world's biggest Carousel of Progress fan? Or have you fallen victim to the tripping tendencies of the Main Street USA trolley tracks one too many times? Maybe you're just as invested in the soap opera level of drama going on in Epcot's tiny train town as we are. Whatever your Disney Parks niche may be, we've got the perfect Disney tees for you, and you're never going to find them inside the Disney parks themselves. We have so much fun on our Slack channels coming up with these new designs. We just make them because we love them as Disney fans, so I hope you do too. Now just head over to dfbstore.com and start browsing. We've got all sorts of styles for you to choose from. Brand new holiday shirts in the store right now too. All kinds of sizes and colors to make sure that each outfit is customized exactly to what you're doing that day with your family or with your Disney bound or whatever. So I hope you love them. They certainly do make us smile. Each time an Epcot festival pops up, you're going to find a festival food crawl of sorts located somewhere in your free festival passport. For Festival of the Arts, it's the wonderful Walk of Colorful Cuisine, which is Bria's personal favorite because it feels like you're going around and eating literal art. For Flower and Garden, it's the Garden Graze, which highlights the festival's plant-based dishes. For Food and Wine, it's Emile's Fromage Montage, which is my favorite because cheese. And for Festival of the Holidays, it's the Holiday Cookie Stroll. No matter which food crawl you get the chance to participate in, if you want to participate at all, that is, you'll taste your way around the festival food booths to collect those food crawl stamps. And once you've collected 5, you'll get an exclusive prize for a job well done, which usually means more food. So I hope you saved room. Now, taking on a full festival food crawl can be a stomachache in the making, especially when it's the holiday cookie stroll and you're just consuming so much sugar. So if you decide to take on one of these challenges, we've got 2 tips for you. First, you can get a buddy to take it on with you. That way you won't be forced to eat all the food crawl items all by yourself. You can share them with somebody else. But the second tip, this is one of my favorites, split up the food crawl between 2 or 3 park days if you plan on double dipping into the Epcot scene. There isn't any strict time frame that you have to complete a food crawl by. They don't care as long as they get the money. Now, just as long as you collect all your stamps before a festival ends, you can claim your prize and claim your victory. Step aside, Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. There's another royal makeover sheriff in town, and it doesn't cost a park ticket to check it out. For $30, kids can receive a princess, prince, or Disney character makeover over at Sephora in Disney Springs. I know, right? Now, while this experience is mainly geared toward kids, there is an adult version too for a bit of a higher price point. You can make reservations for this experience in advance, though you might be able to walk up on the day of your visit to get all primped and glamorous too. Now seriously, why does no one talk about this super cute photo op? The Royal Portrait Studio is located inside Sir Mickey's gift shop at Magic Kingdom, and here you can take a regal picture seated in front of a blossoming tree while posing with a prop of your choice, like Snow White's apple or Mary Poppins' parasol. This photo op is included with PhotoPass, so if you've purchased the Memory Maker package, you'll be able to download those photos for free. There's also a photo studio in Disney Springs with PhotoPass photographers as well if you're looking for some more family photos. These are super cute, and they have great backgrounds. I think it's a hidden gem. Definitely go check out that photo studio in Disney Springs. Now, if you need to stretch and relax before a busy day in the parks, select Disney resorts offer early morning yoga sessions. These yoga sessions will happen on select days at certain resorts, so ask a cast member for the schedule ahead of time so you don't accidentally miss them. Space is limited, so you're going to want to arrive just a little earlier than the listed time to secure your spot. And don't worry about needing to pack your yoga mats or anything, because mats and towels will be provided. I will not see you there because I will be sleeping in, but good for you to go to your yoga. All right, the cat's out of the bag, or the mouse is out of the hole, or whatever. All our Disney World secrets have been spilled. Or have they? Keep checking back here with us to learn even more about the parks, because every time I go to the parks, every time our team goes to the parks, we make another mistake, we do something else that we need to tell you about, or we find something else that's really cool that we want to share. So if you're not subscribed to the channel already, please subscribe to the channel. We want you to see all the cool stuff we're putting out there, everything that we're bringing to you from the parks directly, because we're there every single day. And if you have any tips to share with us and our viewers, please do so in the comments. We love that. It helps so much. Oh, and by the way, don't forget to download our free multi-pass guide right now over at disneyfoodblog.com/multipass. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.